Back pain and sciatica can stop you in their tracks. I know because I've been there. My own journey with severe pain started in my teens, and even now I face flare-ups. In this video, I'll share 5 things I do to get relief when pain strikes. I first hurt my back as a teenager after a car crash. I remember visiting the doctor and trying to get out of the car and collapsing to the ground, unable to stand up because of the shooting pain going down my leg. The doctor called this sciatica and he told me to stop exercising. This was devastating and really got me down mentally because at the time I was on multiple teams and I loved playing sport. So I tried a different approach and I went to go and see a chiropractor. He took x-rays and he told me that I had changes to my spine. One vertebra was slipping on another. I had microfractures and a lumbar scoliosis. He said my spine was a mess, which was just more bad news and more worry for me. But here's what I discovered. Those bony changes didn't explain my pain because eventually the pain went away, but none of the bones in my back changed. They're still like that today. And I'll explain why that works in a minute, but first, here's something crucial. If you've had back pain or sciatica before, you're more likely to get it again, and those with scoliosis are more vulnerable. So knowing what to do about it is essential. Now, I'm not immune, because every few years I push too hard, my back flares up and the pain returns. But I've got a system, something that works in days, or at most a week, and I'll show you exactly what to do. Back pain and sciatica often come from a disc pressing on the nerves, not changes in the bone. Discs are like gel and can be dehydrated. So staying properly hydrated is the first thing I do when dealing with back pain or sciatica. For this, you might need to increase your water intake, not your coffee intake, not your fizzy drink intake, not your beer or wine intake. All those things dehydrate you and can increase inflammation in the area. I know this advice is simple, but there's literally no point in doing the latest and greatest exercise or special light therapy if you're dehydrated. So do this first. Take care of your discs. Drink about 1.5 liters of water a day if you aren't exercising, and a little bit more if you are. Now we want to control inflammation, because when a disc is bulging or the gel is squeezed out, it's the inflammation that's causing the nerve pain. The longer the area is inflamed, the longer you'll be in pain. One great natural way to do this is by eating more omega-3 oil. You can get this from a supplement or from eating oily fish like salmon and mackerel. In fact, this is the one supplement I recommend to everyone because its overall health benefits are amazing. It helps with your heart and your brain. And even this study shows how people who have intravertebral disc degeneration can have reduced pain when they take omega-3s. If you buy supplements, make sure you look for the ones that will easily give you 1 gram of combined EPA and DHA, and not just 1 gram of oil. If you want to do a deep dive into omega oils, check out the podcast I did with Dr. Bill Harris, which I've linked in the description below. He's one of the world's foremost researchers on omega oils, and he'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay, that's hydration and inflammation taken care of. Now it's time to talk about exercises. And firstly, we want to train the core to fire properly. You see, I find most people don't have a weak core. They just lack a little bit of coordination in how it works. This is super common in people with back pain, and one of the reasons it keeps coming back. To get the core working harmoniously again, I recommend a kneeling core exercise. We kneel because it gives more control to your hips and allows your spine to be in a more neutral position. Unlike exercises like sit-ups, planks, and knee raises, which all flex the back, they put pressure on the disc and can make the sciatica worse. So to do this, you simply attach a band off to one side and you move your hands from your chest out in front of you and then you return. You do this about 10 or 15 times and then you put the band on the other side. This builds a great foundation for the next core exercise. This second core exercise helps build more strength and control in the core whilst exercising the hips and shoulders. This means you'll be able to do more of your everyday activities without worrying about your back. Simply get into a crawling position on all fours, making sure the back is neutral and not extended by engaging your lower abs. Lift your knees off the ground and then take a few steps forwards and backwards. Try and move the opposite hand and leg at the same time. I like to get my clients working up from doing this for a few seconds to be about able to crawl for about a minute. But if these 2 core exercises are too painful for you, then I want you to try this last exercise. The third and last exercise seems so simple it can't possibly work, but done right, this is an absolute game changer. In fact, there's been times when my back has flared up. I've been lifting the kids or I've been moving furniture or something, and I couldn't do some of the core exercises we just talked about. So I always start with this, and it's simply walking. Not just mindless plodding though. We're walking to pump out inflammation around the lower back and re-engage your core, which speeds up the recovery. To do this, you need to be able to activate your lower abs. You do this by tucking in your tailbone underneath you, just a tiny, tiny bit, until you feel your lower abs switch on. Then you lift your head as though you have a thread coming out of it and you're being pulled up to the sky. This helps lengthen your spine and pulls tension away from the injured area. I recommend walking like this for about 30 minutes twice a day when you're in a flare-up. It isn't easy, it takes concentration, but with time, you will master it. That's all for today. Now, if you have scoliosis and you're struggling with back pain or sciatica, I'd love to have a call with you to see if I can help. So click the link in the description below or in the first pinned comment, and I look forward to talking to you soon.